Shedeur Sanders. There's been a lot of talk. What are beat writers saying? What are people saying about Shedeur Sanders in his debut?
Did it look good, Steve? No. I mean, went 4 of 16, 47 yards, sacked twice for 27 negative yards.
Okay.
Did he have some of the tendencies that we were questioning during the draft process? And I talked to teams when they evaluated his film, holding onto the football too long, dropping too far back into the pocket. Some of these kind of crutches that he's had in the college game, and you try to work those out of your game in the NFL. Like, did those show themselves? Certainly. Is that okay? Yes. The problem is nobody wants to have a level-headed opinion about Shedeur Sanders. It's you have to be in this camp or you have to be in this camp. And I don't really understand why you have to go to such extremes when you evaluate a young player who really, and I don't know why we have to say this because everybody knows it, and let's just have you say it essentially about what goes on in an actual NFL practice. How many first-team reps have you ever seen a backup quarterback get on a Wednesday or a Thursday or a Friday with the first team?
Zero.
It doesn't happen. And so the fact that
now what will happen is when it's not during the season, you get reps.
Yes. Training camp, tons of reps. And guess what? So I want to kind of squash the narrative, as I made plenty of calls on this. Like, the Browns are sabotaging Shedeur. Why didn't the Browns give him any first-team reps? Why aren't they giving him the reps to properly prepare him? Those are all the wrong questions to ask because the Browns are going about this the exact same way every other team goes about it. They actually went above and beyond, to my understanding, Steve, during training camp. They changed the way they ran their practices to give Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel, because they had 4 quarterbacks with Joe Flacco there and Kenny Pickett there as well, to try to give both of these rookies more reps than you would ever get in the situations that they were in during training camp. They changed their practices to give them more reps, to try to develop them quicker. But when you have a rookie starting quarterback, he needs as many reps as possible during the season, Steve, right? So Shedeur's role in practice, like every other backup, is to run the scout team. He was Lamar Jackson last week. That's essentially who he was in practice. You don't run the Browns offense. And so the fact that you would think the Browns were sabotaging him or not properly developing him is kind of insane, right, Steve? Because you would think if you have a 5th-round quarterback that's talented and maybe dropped in the draft for maybe some other reasons than some people, certain teams didn't want him in their building for whatever reason, why, wouldn't you want to, if you're the team that picked him, wouldn't you want to take advantage of that? You're going to try to develop him. Having a 5th-round starter is it's a gift. It's unbelievable.
Like a Brock Purdy situation where all of a sudden a lot of these GMs want to do this, coaches too.
It's a steal.
They want to be known as the guy who made this guy.
Yes, right? That found him. That made
that found him. Yep. Kurt Warner. No owner wants to be known or head coach wants to be known for the guy who gave away. Right? And this is my football knowledge. Nobody wants to be the Jerry Glanville who gave away Brett Favre because he was a headache.
Yeah.
They don't want to do it. They don't want to be the team that are established to say, hey, you guys were the idiots.
Steve,
that's not good for business.
If you can really play, will teams put up with you if you're a headache? 100%.
I'm a prime example. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Whoa. What do you mean exactly?
But if you can play, they were like, we will make this work.
Here's what I had a GM tell me one time. This is how we deal with assholes. We'll tolerate you until your play is no longer tolerable. Mm-hmm. And then we'll get rid of you.
Yes.
I was like, oh. So what are you trying to say? Because I ain't picking up what you laying down, buddy.
Exactly. So to before we spread it out, just on Sunday, if you also look at what Zach Orr, the defensive coordinator for the Ravens, went out and did as soon as Shedeur took the field, was like, I'm going to put 8 guys on the line of scrimmage. You're going to have no idea who's coming. He started sending all these different things to him. He's got Kyle Hamilton coming. Kyle's flashing the watch after the sack. By the way, Kyle Hamilton's playing out of his mind this year.
He's always been
He's
playing out
been
his mind. That was
unbelievable.
such a great draft pick.
Zaguer threw the kitchen sink at Shedeur. And with no first team
With
reps, which
with what they do to any rookie
100%
is
any
throw
player.
the kitchen sink.
Yeah. Let's put so much on him mentally before he snaps this football that he's going to have to do what, Steve? He's going to have to play slower. He's going to have to think, or he's going to try to play too fast. He's going to try to play too fast, and he's going to make a mistake.
Here's the word. I talk about quarterback play. Prior to the snap of the ball, your job is to do two things, and the defense can change or enhance, or they can really take you away, which is you confirm where you're going with the football, or at times for a young player, at any position, you start to discover where to go with the football after you snap the football.
Yes, exactly. And so they did exactly what you would do. And Shedeur played probably exactly the way most fifth-round picks coming in cold in the middle of the season in their first NFL start.
In the middle of the third quarter.
Respond. Exactly. In a tight divisional game.
Bro, sitting on the sideline just observing, right? Yes, you're mentally in the game. But, folks, I'm telling you, I understand sitting on the couch that you have such a bigger perspective. But when you're on the football field and you got Kyle Hamilton, you got this other guy, and you got
Urban coming on, by the way.
And you have all these different people that are flashing in front of your face, man, you're going to hesitate, right? It's your first opportunity. You want to shine. You hear the crowd. I mean, it gave me goosebumps when I was watching the game. I was like, right? Because he's part of the family. He's second generation of what this game is a privilege. Not everybody gets to play this game.
Yeah.
It is more people who hope, wish, and pray they can play this game than actually people who have played this game. And so he comes out there, and the crowd has been chanting him for about 2.5 quarters, booing Gabriel, another rookie who was discovering where to throw the football because he was getting a little bit confused as well. And you come out there and he does. I actually thought he did a decent job based on the rush was consistently getting back, was getting in the backfield, constantly getting under pressure. I loved the fact that he was staying in the pocket and going through his progressions versus usually we see young, athletic, mobile quarterbacks. They go first read, take off running.
Resort back to what you know.
Yes. And I just thought it was productive. I thought it was a great opportunity, right? And I got to see him in preseason. He was dynamic in preseason against the Panthers. So I was like,
and then the other one was the other way, which is completely the way rookie seasons go, which is the way they go. Good,
right?
bad.
We
It
forget.
happens.
Like, look, we forget. Go back and look at Josh Allen statistically when he was first drafted out of Wyoming. His completion percentage was down because he threw the football too hard to the wide receivers. It wasn't he was inaccurate. He just threw the football too hard. And when you're throwing a football in Wyoming weather, you prefer to catch it with your body, not with your hands. But when you're throwing a bazooka, it's ricocheting off.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Right, so people have such short-term memories, and they want the IG post where it looks picture perfect. Man, stop faking it. Stop acting like Shedeur, who has not played all year, is going to come out and throw for 400 yards with a quarter and a half to get it going.
Yeah, it makes sense. Listen, I had this conversation this week. I thought it would be smart to do it as we have this show to talk to Chase Daniel, who I know pretty well and was a backup in the NFL, a backup
Long
for
time.
14 years.
Yes.
So if anybody can tell me, like, what do you do as a backup quarterback, which is what Shedeur's been, the dude has only been a backup quarterback in his career. So what he said was, and I'm assuming Shedeur does this, and he was as well, Steve, it's once you get done that practice, because there's only about 30 to 40 live reps, right,
That's
for
correct.
that starter on the offense in,
Yep.
in all the different situations you're going to go through in a given day. So he said, what I'm assuming Shedeur does after practice is you take like the assistant quarterback coach or the quarterbaak coach and a couple
No,
of
you take some of the young wide receivers.
exactly.
And
That's what I'm saying. And they go through the quarterback
they
coach is with you going through the script. And you
yes,
do it after practice.
correct. And you also, because you don't get enough reps with some of the players, you run some routes after with some of the young guys, develop a good rapport, understand how they run routes for them to understand how you throw the football. That is what we call that's being a professional, doing the extra work when you don't get the reps. Because coaches tell you if you're not when you're not the starter, you don't get reps.
No.
Your reps are servicing
And in
the
your head.
opposing team or defense. So if you play an offense, and I experienced it my rookie year, that's when I had multiple quarterbacks that I played with. That's how Jim Harbaugh and I caught passes from him.
Yeah.
Because he had a cup of coffee or two in Carolina back in 2001. He came out there and me and Jim were slicing and dicing. Slicing and dicing the defense. Because I was like, yo, I'm not playing. Right? But there are times where I got bench pressed because there's a script. And they're like, yo,
Yep.
you're supposed to run the slant +2 or +3 or 4 outside of the numbers and run the slant, Steve. And like, well, he's sitting inside. So the first couple of times he's sitting inside, you know what I did? Man, I took off and ran to go. Because that's the adjustment that I would make
That
if
you
I was
would
the
make.
if I was the starter. I'd be like, about to hit this go on him. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, no,
But I learned, hey man,
we don't want you to do that.
This ain't your drill.
Yep. Exactly.
This is our drill. You are servicing us, boy. So go ahead and run what's on the card.
That's exactly right. So if he was playing Lamar, he doesn't get to play quarterback this past week the way Shedeur would play quarterback. It goes, hey man, what we see from the tendency of this quarterback, he looks here and then he takes off. We need you to do that to prepare our defense. That's the way the week for Shedeur Sanders was. It's not go get better at the things that you want to be as a quarterback. You need to mimic the opposing quarterback in practice. You need to do what he does. So you don't really get to even do it yourself. So what you oftentimes, Steve, how many backup quarterbacks did you see while the first team offense is out there that they're like standing behind with the coaches, almost going through with their feet
Yes.
on how the reps are going to, because it's
Correct.
their mental reps are the only thing they're getting.
Or they're sitting with the coach, or like you said, with the script. And they're, okay, all right, this is what we got. You know, they're going through it and getting a mental rep. I travel a lot. I'm always on the road, whether I'm scouting. I was just in Berlin. But here's the thing about why I feel so comfortable when I'm away from my home. Simply Safe. It's just not some gadget or a camera. Simply Safe actually can help prevent a crime happening. It's not all this fancy headquarters. They just take care of it. They have live agents actually confronting potential criminals while they are still outside of your home. Man, that's crazy. Before they break in or commit a crime. So for me, Simply Safe has come at the right time. Because right now in the middle of the season, I'm everywhere. But one place that I know is safe is where Simply Safe is. 89 listeners get an exclusive early access to Simply Safe Black Friday sale where you can save up to 60% on any new system. There will never be a better time to get real security for your home. To make sure to get your 60% off, simplysafe.com/89show. That's right, simplysafe.com/89show. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
The part that I think with Shedeur we need to remember is everything that we said, and I've been told he is a worker.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a live in the facility type of quarterback? No. But does he work? Yes. Does he put in his time? Certainly does. But you're being asked to play the most difficult position in sports with
It
no
is
reps,
different.
and you've never played it in the NFL.
Nope.
Understandably, it's not going to be great. I combine that with the fact, Steve, they really didn't have an intention of fully playing him this year anyways. They wanted to develop him. And again, don't twist my words. They didn't want to play him, didn't mean they didn't like him. It meant they saw certain traits that they really liked and other ones they needed to grow and develop.
And that's called protection. That is called
100%.
protecting your asset. No, you don't throw a person who just learned how to swim yesterday in the damn ocean
And
to
drive
go
off in the
deep
boat.
sea. Hey, swim back, buddy.
Yeah, we'll see you in an hour. That's not the hopefully. That's not the way it goes. And so I do think the malpractice aspect from the Browns is you traded away both veteran quarterbacks. So you left yourself with this quarterback room. I understood when you had Joe there, and I understood that they always believed that Dylan Gabriel was going to play at some point this season. But the
Here's
two things that they did wrong, Steve, real quick, were
what.
drafting two quarterbacks in the middle rounds and getting rid of their veteran quarterbacks. I don't think quarterback is a position you throw as many darts at as possible to see if one sticks because of the process and the development and the lack of reps in the building and
I so
everything that goes into developing your quarterback.
I have a different point of view of that.
Okay, love it.
I look at it in the analysts and looking at how teams draft and looking at the scouting process.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did exactly what they wanted to do. You call it malpractice because you don't really understand what the game plan is. Here's the game plan.
Okay,
The
hit me.
game plan is to disregard that $200 million contract that you really don't want to play. And
Deshaun
so
Watson.
Deshaun Watson. So you go ahead, and that's why the young guys were running the reps in training camp because they already knew what they had in Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Joe knows this system. Joe
Totally
Flacco.
get that.
And Joe Flacco, he didn't need extra reps. The young guys needed extra reps just
Totally
in
get.
case.
And they did that. They did it that way.
And they
Joe had
did
very
that.
limited reps because and he
here's the
understood it.
thing. And so they realized through this process that we are not Deshaun Watson, one, he's not going to play, and he's not physically able to play.
He's
So
pretty
you
close
throw
now.
what'd you say?
He's pretty close now.
He's pretty close. Okay.
But he's not going to play. But he's pretty
Okay.
close physically to
But so with that being said, the best way you can figure out can a guy play and build some tape
Mm-hmm.
on what you need to do and how you need to go into the offseason is by letting the young guys play and giving each guy the opportunity, or whomever wins the
Mm-hmm.
backup role, well, it's his job to lose.
Totally get it. Totally understand.
But
But you weren't setting Shedeur Sanders up to succeed by his first NFL action not being with a full week to prepare, being named the starter at the beginning of the week, and getting an opportunity to get all of those reps and then put your best self out there. My point of it is, Steve, I thought they handled the draft brilliantly. I thought they did I thought it was an outstanding move to slide out from the Travis Hunter situation, get an extra first-round pick. You don't know who your quarterback is going to be. We now have 2 first-rounders in 2026. We can then we take 2 quarterbacks in the 3rd and 5th round. So now you have 2 quarterbacks from the 3rd and 5th round, and you're going to be looking at a quarterback in 2026. Couldn't you have used one of those picks on I don't know, to get your offensive line a little bit younger? If you liked Shedeur so much, you should have picked him in the 3rd round. If you like Gabriel so much and you picked him in the 3rd round, you shouldn't have picked Shedeur in the 5th. Like, I just don't understand the thought process with picking both of them. You almost need to, in the NFL, figure out the quarterback you want to develop and put your time and effort into that player. Because there's so much that goes into the quarterback spot. Now they're trying to do it with 2 guys at the same time. I feel like that's just a little bit difficult to be able to do.
we're talking about the Cleveland Browns, are we not? Like I mean, after listening to you, I'm going, yeah, that's right. But who are we talking about?
Yeah.
We're talking about the Cleveland Browns, right? The Cleveland Browns over the last couple of years have done some pretty unique and interesting things that is a head scratcher. We're not even going to talk about, I think, what was it, 20 something, 20 plus quarterbacks that you've drafted in the first round already that haven't panned out?
It's a lot of starters since '99.
A not
Was
lot of
Couch in
starters,
'99 though? Yeah,
right?
it is. So to push this ahead before we go, I would say this: has he developed? They think so. Talking to people there, they think he has come along. They think some of the things in terms of going through your progressions and your preparation and really playing NFL quarterback, he's gotten better at. They've seen improvements. Is quarterback development linear? Not by any stretch, right? It's like this. There's days that are
It's a
brutal.
roller
There's
coaster.
days it's a roller coaster. But now we do get to see him with Dylan Gabriel being in concussion protocol to get a full week of all the reps.
Week of preparation.
Yes.
But they're also going to get a full week of preparation for the opposing team to try to confuse that young man.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. But to make it clear, that full week, Steve, Kevin Stefanski, who I think is a pretty good
I think he's an
coach
excellent.
and a
I
pretty
think
good
he's an
coach.
excellent coach and doesn't get a lot of credit. Has been thrown under the bus by decisions that were. What'd you say?
You mentioned the organization. Like, this is what he's working with here.
Yes, what he's working with is a unique situation where at times you're kind of asking yourself, what is going on?
So if you have any thought in your mind that Kevin is not going to try to prepare Shedeur the best,
you're a fool, because that
you're crazy.
Kevin Stefanski is a hell of a coach. I love to play. I would love to play for him.
Would you?
I really would. He's really smart. He has a dry sense of humor and he's extremely quiet. So when he speaks,
Carries a little weight.
it carries some weight, but you also know it's a lot of the things that he doesn't say that you need to be careful of. Because he is the guy that he acts like he's sleeping in the car, but my man is hearing all the conversations of what's going on.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. So I'm excited to see what Shedeur does.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see him go out there and play and have a full week of the reps and try to go out there and play his best football. I'm rooting for him. I'm not one of these people that roots against anybody. I do think what has happened, and I think this is an interesting aspect, Steve, with everything that Shedeur brings to the table and all of the people that are connected or tied or root for Shedeur that hate to say this, don't really know football. Maybe it's in the entertainment world or whatever. He's like a figure, right? He's bigger than kind of just. There's a lot of opinions out there that aren't based on a lot of football knowledge, and that gets rolled up into this whole thing. And my last part is this: I got to give backup quarterbacks a little love, because it is like, this is a perfect avenue for us to say, Steve, the guys that can go out there and do it, drop of a hat, and save your team in the second half of a game and maybe win 3 games in a row, is a really valuable player on your team. And the reason why, and some people get mad going, why does this guy get a job again? Why is this guy, the other team released him and another team picked him up? There's so few people that can do it. No reps, walk out there and try to win a game for your team and be able to just run the offense the way your starter ran it. It's really hard to do. It's why the same guys get jobs over and over again, because there's very few people that can do it.
Josh Dobbs.
Great example.
Jacoby Brissett. Josh Dobbs played for, was it two teams in the same year.
Remember when he played and Kevin O'Connor was telling him to play in his ear, going like, hey, there's a post on the right-hand side. Just throw it to the post. Like, he didn't even know the playbook, and he won a game.
He literally was playing with the Arizona Cardinals and then got traded to the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah. It was nuts. I had a great conversation with, you know who I love? Josh Johnson. Like,
Josh, hey, that's my dog. He's been around the league. Josh been around. He's been about 25 teams.
Everybody.
Right? Everybody. But he's a guy who has adjusted and figured out, hey,
he knows how to do it.
I gotta learn this, I gotta learn that, right? But here's the other part too that people don't realize. A guy like Josh also kind of gets put in the category of he's not very good. And there have been times where I've seen him ball. He was in Baltimore when I was there. He was balling.
Yep.
Bro, balling. You know who we kept? We kept Soda Pop. We kept Matt Schaub because he
knew Coobs.
He knew Coobs. And Coobs felt comfortable, and Coobs knew that Matt would interpret and be a great middleman, mediator, negotiator for Joe to Gary Kubiak, and Gary Kubiak
He's
to
like the intermediary.
Joe. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was in the middle, and so that's what happens.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I remember talking to Josh once where he was like, bro, I'll go into a huddle on a Wednesday. I don't know anybody's name. No, and they want me to run the offense because everybody on the field is counting on me running that scout team offense. Our
And the
starting
scout team
defense,
players
everybody, yeah.
are not known players.
No, he said it's a skill, man. It's a skill. Hopefully Shedeur can be a starter, but maybe he's got to be a backup. I don't know, but we'll find out. He's a starter this week. We'll see what he can do with a full week of practice, and then we'll take a look at it again. Who knows?